Hello, it's your boy Zemo and welcome to Clash of Titans video. In this video we will show you how to use Emily. So, before starting this video, please make sure to hit the bell icon for further notifications. Emily is a warrior whose ability increases damage towards singular targets to pick off enemies one by one. How to play Emily. How to build items, arcana and rune for Emily. We will cover everything in this video. Emily's passive is duelist. Emily's normal attacks and skill 2 deal additional damage when only one enemy is hit. If Emily's normal attacks and combo hit only one target, she deals 50% additional damage. Emily's skill 1 is Razor Kick. Emily launches a flying object in the target direction, dealing damage to enemies and slowing them down. After the flying object returns, Emily enhances herself and recovers HP, and the cooldown time of her skill is reduced. Emily's skill 2 is Combo. Emily attacks the target direction 2 times, knocking up enemies, and enhances her next normal attack. Emily recovers some of her HP and mana per second and gains increased movement speed after exiting combat. Emily's ultimate is Cold-Blooded. Emily enhances herself and deals damage over time to nearby enemies. She gains attack damage and movement speed and takes less damage. Emily becomes Cold-Blooded after 1 second and deals 150 magic damage to nearby enemies while gaining 100 attack damage and 50 movement speed, and blocks 60 damage. While in the Cold-Blooded state, she also deals 30 magic damage to nearby enemies every 0.5 seconds for 8 seconds. Laning strategy for Emily. Emily can be used either in jungle or Dark Slayer lane as she is good in one-on-one fights. In team fights Emily doesn't quite deal enough damage to chunk through tanks, so head for the backline and pick off the squishy targets. Alternatively, her S2 can be used to CC multiple members for your team to follow up if the opposing team is grouped together. For escaping the battle, every one of Emily's abilities can be used as an escape tool, including her ult if you're in a real jam. In general, you should S2 away, then S1 back to your enemies to slow them down. You can also S1 minions and monsters to increase your movement speed and heal. For the items builds there are 2 configurations, one is for jungle and another one is for laning. In jungle you should use Leviathan, Gilded Greaves, Long in a Spear, Omni Arms, Medallion of Troy and Blade of Eternity. And when it comes to laning, you should go with Gilded Greaves, Long in a Spear, Hyoga's Edge, Medallion of Troy, Glaive Sancti and Rock Shield. Itemizations depends on game situation. If opponent have healers you can go with Curse of Death or Soul Detainer, which is the anti-heal item of the game. For the arcana stuffs you should go with 10 Berserker, 10 Fairy, 10 Dragoon. You can replace Berserker with Rampage for extra crit damage. This is the enchantment configuration for Emily. Use Shadow Blade and Awakening Devil as the primary, and Restore Plus and Bounty Hunter as the secondary enchants. Key points to notice while playing Emily. Number 1. Aside from dueling heroes, her passive allows her to quickly clear the jungle, making her a decent jungler. Emily can also push down towers quickly if left alone. Just make sure not to hit the minion wave while attacking if your goal is to burst the tower down as soon as possible. Number 2. While using her S1, aim for the highest priority target to slow them the most. Minions and monsters can be used to get into or out of a fight by increasing Emily's movement speed. Try to use her S1 off cooldown instead of baiting the enemy, as the heal isn't immediate. Number 3. Though the length of her S2 is an okay 700 units, the width is massive, affecting targets in a huge swath. As long as Emily is slightly behind the target, she will hit them with both attacks, effectively knocking them back and up. A stun on multiple members is very powerful, so don't be afraid to lose the extra damage if you find an opportunity to land her S2 on multiple enemy heroes. Her S2's passive is one of the few abilities that increases base movement speed rather than increasing it by a percentage. As such, non-boots movement speed increasing items' efficiency are increased when using her ultimate. Number 4. While using her ultimate, the damage reduction listed is very confusing. Essentially, 5100 damage is subtracted off every incoming damage source, from attacks to abilities to item aura. Though there is a charge time of 1 second, Emily can move, attack, and use abilities while charging, making Mage very easy to use. The initial blast radius is much larger than the following aura damage, so stick close to your enemy if you want to continue burning them. Other than when prepping an enhanced attack, see above, ultimate should be used before your other abilities to increase the damage on all of them. Emily's ultimate is one of the few abilities that increases base movement speed rather than increasing it by a percentage. As such, non-boots movement speed increasing items efficiency are increased when using ultimate. Usually it's the other way around. Hero counters. Emily should ignore most tanks, as they are mostly a waste of time for her. Using her abilities on tanks will leave her without an escape, and will probably not end in a kill anyway. Like with tanks, Emily should stay away from the more resilient warriors, while targeting those who are a bit more squishy. If Emily can chunk them down to half health with her initial flurry of abilities, then they aren't worth engaging. As Emily operates similarly to an assassin herself, defeating an assassin means getting the jump on them first. Either that, or wait out their abilities before pouncing. Immobile mages are Emily's primary target, as she can close the gap and burst them down before they have a chance to retaliate. Just be wary of any crowd control that halts you in your tracks before you can reach them. Marksmen are the other source of Emily's prey. Emily has just enough sustain to hold on before she can wipe them out with her ability combination. Landing combo in particular is of utmost importance, so as to interrupt their barrage of normal attacks. The tankier the support, the more they should be ignored. In addition, supports are more likely to be with another hero, lessening the chance of being able to pick off a singular target. Probably best to move on unless they're clearly out of position. Emily is one of the most underrated item in this game. If you play her effectively, then she's a nightmare to enemies. That's it for today in this video, and see you in the battlefield.